So to get started, let's start right at the start. The terms machine learning and AI, artificial intelligence, they're often used in a wide variety of contexts, often used somewhat interchangeably. I suppose to get started, what's the meaning of those terms exactly, or what's the difference between machine learning and AI?
Sure, I can take this one. So AI is the original term. I think it was first invented in the 1960s or maybe even earlier. And it basically encompasses any sort of algorithm that allows a machine to do something that seems human-like. So that involves chatbots, robots, self-driving vehicles, anything you can imagine. Machine learning is any sort of algorithm that can work with unseen scenarios compared to traditional software where you need to specify every edge case manually.
So it's about sort of learning from data, right, and kind of not necessarily writing down all those rules in advance, but sort of picking them up from unseen, as you say, from data sets and pairs of labels and data. And I suppose AI, it's something that's becoming a more and more popular technology, appearing in a whole range of different products. And I suppose people have a wide variety of perceptions of that. Some of them positive, some of them negative. Why do you think that is, that diversity of viewpoints as to whether this is a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah, sure. So I think AI is basically all around us. It's in our day-to-day lives, making things easier and just, I guess, adding value everywhere. So you might find that in like social media, your Alexa that's at home, your like marketing ads, auto-completing texts and emails, things like that, all sorts. And I think it's just a rapidly growing field that generally people didn't really understand a lot about, and probably people generally still don't really understand a lot about it, people that certainly aren't in the field. And I think it can be seen as quite a big black box. So you throw something in and then you get something out, but people don't really understand, why they get there. So there's been a lot of work, I think, over the past few years to really understand that, where these these things are coming from, because of the concerns that have been raised with, certain biases that might get passed into your model from the data that you're training on, which we absolutely don't want to happen. So yeah, I think there's a bit of concern about that, rightly so. And I think the other thing is people tend to be a lot more forgiving when a human gets something wrong than when a machine gets something wrong. We associate humans with just being correct all the time, and that's just not the case. So yeah, it's almost like your machine is trying to reach a level which you put the human on the pedestal for, and that's almost not going to be achievable. They're only as clever as we make them, right?
And I suppose relates to that interpretability point you raised, Emryn, that a person, they come to some decision, you can ask them why they came to that view, you can ask them to explain their reasoning, but a black box, harder to do that, right? As you say, some data comes in, some answer comes out, but you don't really have a way, unless you build one, of probing how that process, that decision-making process sort of comes to pass.